by the ancestors of these people. Today, they bid a fond farewell to the cyclists who will journey once more for that one moment of glory. As the people of Lagawe here in Ifugao say a hearty goodbye to our cyclists, and it is not enough to conceal the tension, the drama that is building up on this, the 14th stage of the Marlborough Tour from 1997, simply because the race is so tight.
It's very tight. Barely 300 kilometers left in the race, and 200 of those kilometers will be used up today. And Victor Espiritu knows now he must attack today. 10 seconds, which is all his lead is absolutely nothing. This is the overall classification, and look at this now. One Cam Pro, just 10 seconds off the yellow jersey. He's tried to gain now for the best part of 3 weeks. In third place, Placido Valdez, the rider I said yesterday had no chance. He climbs to third overall. He's only 1 minute and 33 seconds off the pace. In fourth place, down from second, is Carlo Guiev. And coming out of the blue, the stage winner yesterday, the great climber from Indonesia, Tonton Susanto, is now up in fifth place. The two Korean riders, Yun Dai Hong and Yi Sung Wang, who have played such a big part in this event, they are still there. And who knows what we can expect from them, sir.
We are off to our last 200 kilometers, which will take us all the way from here in Ifugao province straight into Cabanatuan.
Yes, it's a long stage today. It's 203 kilometers. There's a climb straight after the start. Espiritu might try there, but I think he'll try and wait until the climb midway through the race, Dalton Pass, because if he gets away there, he'll go like a greyhound to the finish.
We are going to see this roll out only 2 more times, including one here today, because tomorrow it's going to be an individual time trial, and on the final day it's going to be another mass start, but the cyclists are off.
They're off in the most beautiful part of the world as we now face up to another hot day. 37 degrees Celsius, no wind again, humidity at 48%. In fact, for the moment, as we leave the start area, very pleasant racing conditions indeed. The race starting at the foot of the first mountain of the day. Straight away, Dennis Villeneuve goes out on the attack. Now, he's not a marked man, although he's reasonably well up in the overall classification, so they might give him a chance here. He could become the carrot of the day, while the favourites will assess their chances to join him a little later on. He's gone clear. Now, this rider is much more of a marked man, and it's Susanto again on the move, wearing the San Miguel King of the Mountains leader's jersey. He's going up towards the front of the pace. Now he catches up with Villasenor, and the other rider tucked in nicely behind him too. Looks to me as though it's Renny De Losa, and Carlo Guiev is also trying to get things moving. Now this is the most interesting move. Now if Carlo goes, the yellow jersey and One Campo surely have got to react to this.
In the meantime, Tonton Susanto, he must be all pumped up with that victory just yesterday.
He's got to be inspired. All the roads were going down today for at least the first hour of racing. With the roads he came up yesterday, and he came up in such solitary splendour. The 3 riders still up there as we continue the climb of this second category mountain. And it has a long sweeping descent, a section of flat road before we climb up the Dalton Pass. There's the King of the Mountains over the top. Susanto gets the 10 points, De Losa right behind him in 9, and Villasenor, he got the 3rd place finish. You can see him just on the end of our picture there. And this man is still clear. So Guiev, who knows just about everybody along the roadside today because he's a popular figure in this part of the world because he lives here, knows that if he can keep himself out front, he's going to get all of the encouragement he will require. He wants to contact those leaders. There's been a crash, in fact, on the way down. Susanto has fallen there, but he must have been up so quickly. For what it's done, it's taken him away from that leading group and put him in no man's land here. But we never actually saw the crash, but my goodness me, he was back on his bike fast. So the good news is he's obviously okay.
Today's route will challenge the maneuvering ability of our cyclists with so many twists and turns.
Yes, indeed, Sarah, a superb racing course, this one. We're looking at the yellow jersey leading this group of riders. He's around about a minute behind now. And Carlo Guiev has contacted with the leaders. That's Renny De Losa slipping down with the blue sleeve. And it looks as though we have quite a strong working group here at the front now. The most important man, of course, is Guiev. I can't believe they're going to leave him out there. Bernard Luzon, little problem for him, and a wrestle with the back wheel to get the new tyre in. While he gets over his own personal problems, we'll get back up to the leaders here because this little group now has got to find some coordination. Guillaume, obviously a marked man at 4th overall, and Tonton Susanto, oh well, there's the answer, they spotted it. The reaction has been very swift indeed. The yellow jersey is back at the front of the race, everything back under control. Placido Valdez is also there, so everybody that matters in this tour are now back together again as we go down for the first sprint of 45.7 kilometres covered, and Felix Celeste, the inevitable man, is out front again. This man has attacked every day this week and has never had the good luck to keep him out there to the finish.
Exactly. We always see him in the early part of the race, then he just suddenly fades away.
The Celeste dangling up the front of a sprinting bunch there. Remember, it's Enrique Domingo who leads this competition, and he gets second place over the line. 3 more valuable points for Domingo. Estevillo gets the 3rd place. But you know, with just 2 days to go, oh, thank you very much, girl. I think Domingo, in fact, is going to be the man who will win that sprint competition. Well, that was a nice time.
Thank you. And you a new name, sir.
Well, the scenery continues as we cross yet another one of the big wide rivers here in the Philippines, but the road surface is not good now, and the riders are dashing for the various parts of the bridge here to find the smoothest crossing of it.
We've gone over various kinds of territory in our travel here in the Marco Tour from 1997. Meanwhile, an 11-man breakaway is starting to make its move, and we'll make a move towards the break and we join you just after these. This is the Carabao and his partner are always together, and they decided today, why not we watch a race?
And there are plenty who have been watching this race this day. Although we're on the climb now of the Dalton Pass, this is the big first category climb. The crowds to the towns and the cities today have been absolutely enormous. I think the Marble Tour this past 3 weeks has really caught the imagination. There's the main field. It's becoming a personalised battle amongst the leaders of the classification that are allowed escape group to go. None of the heads of state are there, and this bunch with the yellow jersey in it has now dropped back to 5 minutes and 43 seconds. We're back up with the leaders now. These are the 3 men trying to shape the race. 2 are on the same team, in fact, from Pangasinan. And that's Felix Celeste, and his teammate up here at the moment is Edwin Bayuga. Celeste has to be given maximum marks. He tries every day to break away, and he may have done something here because he's climbing away from the rest of the group. Just 3 of them going clear from the original 11. Further down the slopes of the Dalton Pass, we've got the heads, and there they all are at the front. The yellow jersey, Carlo Guia is there, Placido Valdez is there, the leader Espiritu, Juan Campo, of course, and Tonton Susanto. They're all in that group, and they're all prepared just to watch one another and allow the other riders in the race to make the pace today. Now, Felix Celeste is still fairly high up overall. He lies in 10th place, 18 minutes and 9 seconds off the lead, but at the moment he's recovered the best part of 6 minutes on his overall classification. And as you can see, the riders that they have left on the climb still try to keep the 3 breakaways in sight. But just look at this, Seb. This is the main body of the chase pack. At the head of this group, we've got the riders that matter. In fact, one of those riders just stopped, that's Shun Dai-hong, who's changing the front wheel. And in fact, unless I was imagining it, the forks have fallen out of his bike. He's got broken forks here. They've realised it. It's got a wheel they want. It's an absolute new bicycle. Here it comes. Well, the Koreans have had some luck over this tour because they punctured more than any other team, and now it looks as though their bikes are falling apart.
And they took some time to realize that it was the fork rather than the wheel. They were looking and staring at each other.
The only good thing is that yellow jersey group is not racing very hard. They're allowing this escape to continue here further up the mountain. The 2 teammates on the Pangasinan team are getting clear. The other rider in the breakaway, by the way, is from Metro Manila, and that's Anolfo Ferrer. It's nice to see that team too putting a rider up front today.
Through the years, Phil, Metro Manila has been there, but they have not been able to figure so prominently vis-a-vis the other teams from Northern Luzon or the teams from Southern Luzon.
And in fact, tagging on the back here now is Federico Cruz, also from Metro Manila. So they've got 2 men up front here. I think it's taken a while to instill confidence into them. Phil Corley, a former British professional road racing champion, is looking after the team here. He says the riders lack confidence, but they don't lack ability. And I think as the race gets to an end, they're beginning to believe in themselves. So it's good to see them in the move today. As for the leaders of the race, they are suffering from who is going to win nerves. They are doing absolutely no attacking. They're slowing right down. They're waiting for one or the other to attack. and the result is no one is attacking, and this is one Campo sitting at the front, staring at Victor Espiritu, while other riders are sprinting off the front of the race. Gregorio Bigonio, he's going clear, there's no reaction from the field, and this is why we're getting a lot of riders ahead of the pack here. None of them feature in the overall classification, and I don't think we're going to see them back for the day, because this has become a battle of pure nerves amongst the leaders of this tour. Now back up with the leaders of the day. The Metro Manila rider and Nolfo here at the front, and the two riders of Pangasinan. It looks as though they've got themselves into a three-man lead group again. Yes, because in the distance they've dropped the other Metro Manila rider.
Arnulfo Ferrer, his best ever finish was 10th place when the tour was staged 2 years ago.
Now just look at it. I think this group is going slower and slower. The next time check we're going to get a big time difference for the leaders who are getting on with the job in hand for the day. There's the King of the Mountains leader. And then Pat Carlo Gibb is going to have a go. He's going to just sense and see what's going on. There's an immediate count. Look at how they've accelerated now. Carlo, of course, very much the mark man, especially today where everybody knows him. He's looked over his shoulder to see what the damage is he's done. And immediately the power's turned off again, and the leaders are just coming back for a little rest. One Campo takes the riders to the other side of the road. This is a magnificent climb. It's a shame they're not racing flat out on it, because this mountain is suited to the power climb where they can climb in a heavy gear and really go quickly. Like these three riders are doing so here. And still pulling away, they've actually blown apart the 11-man lead group as they continue on the climb.
Meanwhile, number 16 is a new face in our coverage. Hardly have seen him during the past few days. That's Sati Parlanchea on the Pangasinan team.
He's got himself right up to the leaders and he's doing a great ride too. And I'm glad, Seb, you have to excuse me, but I do have difficulty with your names.
That's all right, quite all right, sir.
Now down to the other riders. Tonton looks over to see just where everybody is. This is becoming the select group of the race. And because of those small time gaps to a degree, the race is being spoiled a little bit by these tactics. I can understand them and why they're doing them. But of course, each and every one of those leaders would love to get on with the job in hand to race, but they feel they can't. Tomorrow's a time trial, and it looks as though the time trial will sort the race out. Back up to the Metro Manila man at the front, the Nolfo Ferrer. It could be a big day for him today.
When you mentioned those heads of state, it looked like they were on the opening day parade. If I didn't know this was the 14th stage, I would have said, hey, this is the first day of the race.
Absolutely, but now after almost 3 weeks, they know each other's strengths and they know where their ability lies, and they're not too sure which cards to play and when.
In the meantime, these three gentlemen telling the big guns, worry about your problems, we want to win a stage.
Yes, Celeste has tried daily to win a stage. His breakaways have always been caught. He may have chosen the right move today. There's no time to admire that beautiful view across the valleys here, high up on the Dalton Pass. It's a beautiful day. Now back to the boys who are leading the race classifications and deciding today defence is the better part of their day. Espiritu sitting in the middle, the man nearest to him and whom he leads by just 10 seconds right on his shoulder. These are the three men setting the pace. Number 16 is Santi Barnechea, number 13 is teammate Felix Celeste Jr., and the third man making up this trio, Arnulfo Ferrer from Metro Manila. They have escaped the pack. They're all moving up the overall classification, but they've lost so much time over the race that they're not going to really affect the leaders. But Mai Wao Chung here of Hong Kong is going clear, and you see no reaction. He's not a marked man in this pack, and so in effect the wrong rider from Hong Kong is breaking away. Well, no reaction from the bunch, and all the time we are getting 1s, 2s, 3s, and groups of 5 and 6 riders up the road, heading to the prizes of the day, and still no reaction from the main field. A fine chase back of the leaders over the top of the mountain, though, by Yo-Ho Sung. He has come over the top. He didn't like the climb, but he certainly comes downhill very quickly indeed. He's joined the three front runners.
To those unfamiliar to the tactics of stage racing, they might find a degree of impatience here. Why aren't these guys attacking each other?
I would think each and every one of them, as Placido Valdez tries now, I was about to say they're all frustrated. They want to release their energy, but they're frightened to do so. And now Placido has had enough of it. He's trying to stretch them out. And look at the gap now. 8 minutes and 8 seconds to the 3 leaders, well, the 4 leaders now on the road. That is a big gap, but it is time.
We welcome welcome you back to the 14th stage of the Marlboro Tour for 1997. This takes us from Magawe in Ifugao Province all the way to Cabanatuan City in Nueva Ecija.
And the leaders, and there are now 4 of them, are reaching the town of San Jose, and they are just before the second sprint of the day. 156 kilometers covered of the 203 which are scheduled. And it looks like a very good sprint indeed here, with the Korean Yoho Sung again showing his power, getting the better of Adolfo Ferrer, and the 3rd place going to Santi Banaccia. Well, these 4 riders now trying to get clear. The big peloton with the yellow jersey in it are almost asleep, I think. 10 minutes and 39 seconds back now. That's a long way. They're keeping the race to themselves, of course, for the overall. The 131 is Ji Sung Wang, the multi-stage winner of this race. And all the top riders are watching each other today, allowing some of the smaller men of this tour to have a brilliant day out in the hot sunshine. Hyundai Hong in the green jersey from Korea, 101 is Wong Campo. There's been a crash at the scene of the sprint. Now we've gone back to what were 4 leaders here. Yoho Sung is down. This is Felix Celeste. And Celeste looking around for, I think, a spare bicycle here. Now what has happened is this little boy here was struck by one of the bicycles. He walked into the road. And he's okay, that's the good news, but the rider aren't so okay. Yoho Sung is back and riding. The other 2 have gone on. And yeah. Today, he's been put out in a really accident. Most going to have to try and chase back up to Adolfo Ferrer and Santi Banaccia. They're only just up the road. The top Korean rider here now has a gap to bridge of around about 30 seconds. And what's this? This is Jack Kershaw, the manager of the Pangasinan team, who is coming across the gap here with a spare bike for his team rider. This must be for Felix Celeste. Well, Jack Kershaw was a very good bike rider in his days, enjoyed being over here, looking after the team as well. He's now bringing a spare bike. In fact, the crowd think he's a rider. He just got drenched in water. Kershaw running up to Felix Celeste, did well to catch him. Well done, Jack. And Celeste back on the spare bike. And let's hope he gets back into the action. I don't think he has much chance of rejoining the front 3 now. We're going back some minutes now to the yellow jersey group, more than 10 in fact, and still taking no part in the race today. Clearly the weekend is going to see these big guns fire. It's going to be a great showdown. Today they are flying white flags. They don't know how to cope with the race today.
It seems to me that it's none of their concern for the time being.
No, you're absolutely right. But once again, a Korean rider has got himself into a winning position. They've won so many stages of this race. Remember the daily stage prize, 25,000 pesos. He's actually looking there at his elbow, Yoho Sung, and that's the one he fell off on in the crash. Well, despite the pain from his elbow, he has pedalled across the void. He rejoined the 2 leaders. And so at the front there, we've got Santi Banaccia from the Pangasinan team and the Metro Manila rider, and that is Adolfo Ferrer. So there are 3 again at the front. Meanwhile, in the big field, some 10 minutes down, we still have here everybody that matters in the Marlboro Tour 97. Still the water keeps coming at a rate of knots. There'll be no water left in the Philippines. The amount that's thrown over these riders in a 6-hour day. The other 3 leaders again working well together now, but once again a Korean rider has placed himself in a position to win. The other 2 riders have got to do something special to beat Yoho Sung.
With 5 kilometers to go, just like to remind you that Yoho Sung picked up our 4th stage, which was the journey from Tagaytay City all the way to Lucena.
And he did that in the final kilometre where he produced a terrific burst of power, so that's when we should look for the attack again. There's a lot of riders now sprinting off the yellow jersey group. It depends on the numbers whether Espiritu or Wong Campo will react. If they're not the right numbers, they are just letting riders ride up the road. This big bunch of 1x70 has been whittled down to a handful. The yellow jersey is there. I think that attack in fact came from Wong Campo. Espiritu reacted, so too did the green jersey of Young Dai Hong. And they're all back together again. And somebody's taken a fly up the inside. That was Ji Sung Wang who went 7th place overall, now steadily climbing up the overall classification with his multi-stage win so far. He's gone, caused some reaction. So that race is not going to lie down at the moment.
And we are just a kilometer away from the hometown of Placido Valdez, Cabanatuan City.
I'm giving no secret away if I tell you it's also the hometown of Chef Samantha.
Welcome, Phil.
And there is Placido. He's coming home today. He's still trapped in this bunch though. Dalton on his wheel. He's on the wheel of the yellow jersey, Espiritu. And the man setting the pace, searching for 10 small seconds for yellow, remember, is Juan Campo. But let's get back up to the front now. This is for the first prize of the day. And yet again, a Korean has worked his way through. Despite a fall today, Yo-Ho Sung is going on the far right. And in fact, Adolfo saw the move and didn't have the legs. Yo-Ho Sung, those big powerful legs, they're used to riding on the tracks around Korea, brings the Korean clear for his second victory of the tour. In second place will be Adolfo Ferrer, and the third place will go to Santi Banaccia. That was the order over the line. And then the riders come home here now in dribs and drabs. The moral for today, Celeste is in that group. He's lost 3 minutes on the leaders as a result of that crash. There he was. And that was very, very sad. I hope he's not superstitious because he rides number 13 in this race. This is the arrival now of the yellow jersey group. They are coming in a massive 11 minutes back, but all of the men that matter are together. There's the result. Yo-Ho Sung the winner. Ferrer takes second and 2 seconds with Banaccia. Domingo Villanueva is fourth. Effendi Rossi from Malaysia is fifth. These are all names we're not used to seeing on the result board. They took advantage of a very strange day. There's no doubt who the winner was. We've seen plenty of them on the winner's podium. A Korean again, this time for the second time, Yo-Ho Sung. The overall situation, Espiritu has preserved his 10 seconds over Juan Campo. Placido Valdez stays third, Gibbs stays fourth, Susanto stays fifth, and Hyundai Hung stays sixth. Yi Sung Wang is now in 8th place. Felix Celeste is 9th. If he had been with the winner today, he would have been 7th. Espiritu, well, I wonder what he's thinking now. He must wonder what the weekend will bring for him. In the team race, the Koreans, I think they've won it now. They've gone out to a 22-minute advantage over the Philippines, while the Malaysian team are 2.5 hours behind that.
And in the regional competition, Northern Luzon enjoying the territory. They have the edge there, now increased to 4 minutes. The Marlboro Tour from 1997 began as a battle for 84 riders, but in essence it has been boiled down to just 2 men going for the top honors for that one moment of glory we have been talking about through the course of this race.
Well, what a final weekend now. We are poised with the time trial stage tomorrow and the last stage, the big showdown in Manila. 10 seconds separating those top 2 riders. The time trial tomorrow, we always call it the race of truth, and now we couldn't say truer words than that because this race now has come down to the best man tomorrow in the time trial.